Hey TransLash family, it's me, Imara Jones, with our weekly TalkBack. Earlier this week, I gave remarks at the groundbreaking for the LGBTQ Museum in New York City, where I am on the board. You know, one story that we often like to tell ourselves is the story of Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Rivera and so many of the other Black and brown, trans and gender non-conforming and non-binary people who changed the world through their consequential actions on that first night of Stonewall. Every year we walk in a parade that they started to commemorate their actions the year before that helps us lead to that particular change that we've seen. And we celebrate so many of the other wonderful things that they did in our community as role models and examples. But the story that we don't tell is that 4 years after they started that movement, they were deliberately pushed out of the movement that they had helped to start. I focused my comments on the need to make sure that the stories of our community, especially those of us who are Black and brown who have been left out of history, are included. That was really well received, I was glad to say, and it's something that we're going to be working really hard to do in the museum. So if you get a chance, go check out my remarks. And additionally, I got to meet some really cool people like Billie Jean King and others who were there to support our vision of inclusion. So make sure you go check that out. And also this week, make sure that you listen to our latest episode of the Anti-Trans Hate Machine. So this week is all good news. I have to say, like, we have a good news week. That's because it's all about art and creativity. That's all we get to talk about. Of course, there was the Met Gala where there were so many fabulous looks that were inspired by Marsha P. Johnson, and where so many trans people gave new, different visions, like MJ Rodriguez and India Moore, and Janet, of course, always looking like Janet, looking elegant, which was amazing. And we also saw Elliot Page. It was just great. Great to go back to a feeling of things being fun again. And of course, this comes on the heels of New York's Fashion Week, where trans people were just turning it out in so many different ways. Of course, Tourmaline had a collaboration with Chromat. There were articles about that you all responded to. And on top of that, we saw trans people participating in Fashion Week across the board. There was Alok who held it down in so many ways, just really demonstrating the power and the creativity of our community. That's all y'all were mostly talking about. So it was all good news. So make sure you continue to follow us. Let's hope this good news train keeps riding along, and I'll see you next week.